It's a happy day for all Sri Lankan cricket lovers as we beat the world's #1 test side England on home soil in Galle. And incidentally, during today's match, Rangana Herath bagged 12 wickets, and also during the first test match against England, Mahela Jayawardene amassed 180 runs. Incidentally, today's victory was also the first since spin wizard Muthaiya Muralitharan retired from test cricket. The details of this spectacular match coming up in the news tonight.
A very good evening and welcome to News First Primetime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara.
And I'm Krishna Panitharatna. We start off the news with a look at your headlines.
An opposition protest in Kandy against the rising cost of living becomes tense. 5 people killed in lightning strikes. Authorities advise caution. And 500 cows imported from Australia to boost national milk production.
5 persons were killed in lightning-related incidents in the 48 hours ending at 5 this evening. The Met Department stated that of late, lightning strikes have become more frequent due to the activation of the first inter-monsoon period this year. News First Mahina Bonzo has a comprehensive analysis of this deadly phenomenon.
Several lightning-related incidents have been reported in the island over the past few days. Taking a look at these lightning-related incidents, well, the first such incident was reported from Pothuhera, where a 34-year-old woman who was a mother of 1 was killed when she was struck by lightning. Then moving on to the Ruwanwala area, 3 members of the same family were killed when they were struck by lightning as well. Moving south from Ruwanwala, in the Bulat Sinhala area, a 20-year-old youth was struck by lightning and he sustained injuries and he is currently receiving treatment in hospital. And finally, in Baduralia, a father of 4 was killed when he was struck by lightning in the Baduralia area. So if you take a look at these lightning-related incidents, it has been happening according to a certain pattern, and this pattern is in a southerly fashion. Let's now take a look at the news report on these lightning-related incidents. Isuru was a grade 7 student of the Palle Kanugala Vidyalaya in Ruwanwala. The other person killed in a lightning strike was Deepika's sister Sumedha Rajapaksa. A resident of Kandy, she had arrived at her sister's house just a few days ago. Our correspondent stated that the 3 of them were in the kitchen when lightning struck. Miraculously enough, a 3-year-old girl who was nearby was not harmed.
When I heard the lightning bolt, I went and checked on them. Then I saw all 3 of them on the ground. My son was on the bed. While my sister had fallen near the plate rack, my wife was also lying on the ground nearby. A 65-year-old person was killed after being struck by lightning in Handigala, Baduralia. Our correspondent stated that the individual had been struck by lightning when he was on his way to load tea leaves to a vehicle at around 4 last evening. A 34-year-old mother of 1 was killed by a bolt of lightning the day before yesterday in the Parabayavilla area in Pothuhera. Her funeral was held today. Meanwhile, a 20-year-old youth was injured by a lightning strike in the Udugalkanda area in Bulat Sinhala.
We have almost over the northeast monsoon conditions, and in fact we are having this inter-monsoon conditions right now, so that the conditions are very favorable for development of thunder clouds. So with these clouds there may be strong lightning activity as well as fairly strong winds for a very localized area.
7 lightning-related deaths have been reported so far this year. Last year, 51 lightning-related deaths were reported. The Disaster Management Centre stated that the number of deaths caused by lightning in the year 2010 was 33.
For more details on this story, you can log on to our award-winning website, newsfirst.lk.
On to more local news now. Measures are to be taken to transfer some lands and shares held by the Mahaweli Authority to the Urban Development Authority and the Sri Lanka Ports Authority for the development of the Hambantota Port and City. A discussion on this regard was held at Temple Trees this morning. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also participated in the discussion.
During the discussion, which included the Ports Authority, the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources Management and the Urban Development Authority, it was revealed that 1,500 acres would be taken over under the first phase of this program. In the second phase, a further 1,277 acres will be taken over for the development of the Hambantota city. President Rajapaksa stated that in order to minimize issues from cropping up, the Ports Authority, the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources Management and the Urban Development Authority should take steps to establish a joint committee. The President had also instructed that public awareness be created on obtaining alternate power sources for houses in order to face an energy crisis that could arise in the future. It was also decided during the discussion to identify locations where solar power can be harnessed.
The heat generated over the resolution on Sri Lanka adopted by the Human Rights Council in Geneva is yet to recede. Several politicians expressed their views on the matter today as well.
We also know today that human rights issues are being very significantly politicized. These are not moral or ethical values, they are political considerations. The chairperson of the House Foreign Relations Committee of the United States Congress, not just an ordinary member of Congress, but the chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the US Congress, Elinor Ros-Lehtinen. She said that the Human Rights Council is a rogues gallery. She said that the Human Rights Council was a rogues gallery and the United States should withdraw from the Human Rights Council and find a more credible forum to discuss human rights issues. Now these are developments which occurred during the last few days. This is why we say that there is no consistency or uniformity.
America එක්සත් ජනපදයේ යෝජනාවේ තියෙන්නේ
The US resolution says that international law was violated during the final stage of the conflict. Nothing more. Violating international law means having committed war crimes. They are saying that the recommendations of the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission should be implemented. If the public is of the view that the resolution adopted on Sri Lanka in Geneva should be implemented, then it should be done. But if they say that it shouldn't be, the resolution has to be put aside.
ජනතාව කියන නම් ඕක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න එපා කියලා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙම ඉන්න ඕන.
ඇතම් සමහර බොළඳ ඇමතිවරු Google, Yahoo.
Some immature ministers are calling on the public to boycott American brands like Google, Yahoo and certain beverages as well. Can that be done? Never. In India, it is a coalition government. If stakeholders of the government withdrew their support, the government would fall. Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had to agree with the resolution brought forward by MPs supportive of the LTTE in order to safeguard his government. So now one might call on the public to boycott Indian products as well. If so, we will have to refrain from worshipping the Sri Mahabodhiya as well.
සමහර ඒකට දාවිත් දන්නේ ඉන්දියාවේ බඩු වර්ජනය කරන්න කියලා. එහෙම කිව්වොත් එimhe ඉන්දියාවේ ශ්‍රී මහා බෝධියත් වර්ජනය කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
Acting Minister of Mass Media and Information, Lakshman Yapabewardena, says that action will be taken against media websites that are being used for inappropriate purposes. He made this statement during the Cabinet media briefing held today.
මේ වගේ දේවල් ඊයේ
I have provided the details of reports on websites which have targeted the president and his family in an inappropriate manner to the president. Today these websites cannot be controlled. There is no name, no location, no individual. These websites have destroyed the media culture. We have filed several cases and we will look into them in the future as well and take action against them. We are already taking action.
Meanwhile, a statement made by Minister Mervin Silva regarding senior journalist Podala Jayantha was also discussed at the media briefing.
ඒක සම්පූර්ණ කිසිම මාධ්‍යවේදියෙකුට ප්‍රහාරයක් කළ කිරීමෙන් ඕ මාධ්‍යවේදියෙකුට තර්ජනයක් කිරීමට කිසිම කෙනෙකුට බලයක් නැහැ. ඒක රජයේ අදහසක් නෙමෙයි. අමතුමා එයා කියලා දෙනවා පොදර ජයන්ත මම තමයි ගාලා පන්නුවේ කියලා. ඉතින් මොකද පොලිසියෙන් අටනවන්න ගන්න බැරි මොකද?
This must be done in accordance with the law. Action will be taken. It is difficult for me to answer questions on this matter.
නෑ ඒක නෑ සම්පූර්ණ ඒක සම්පූර්ණ ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා. ඕන කෙනෙකුට කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඕන කෙනෙකුට එහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්. ආණ්ඩුවේ මොකද්ද ගන්න තියෙන්නේ? ඒ පිළිබඳ පක්ෂය වීඩියෝ ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් ගන්න ඕනේ ඒ පිළිබඳ. ඔය මට කරන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. මට මාධ්‍යන්තර මම සෑම් වාරණයක් කරගෙන ඉන්නේ. වැරදි වැඩ නොකර. කැබිනට් එකේ විතරක් නේ පෞද්ගලිකව කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් කෙනෙකුට දැන් මමයි මිනිම කලේ කියලා කියපු පුද්ගලයෙකු අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමේ හැකියාව පොලිසියට නැහැ. ඒක පොලිස් මාධ්‍ය ප්‍රකාශකයන් ඔබතුමා අහන්න ඊළඟට